So now he's got his back fins. Now let's make his little side fins. And again, we just want to put a little scratch there on either side. And I'm going at the bottom of his gill on either side, just there at the bottom of the gill. And I'll put a little bit of slip on each one of those places, just like that. And I'm going to take a little more clay. I don't use a whole bunch of clay. If you make these side fins too big and too long, they can break off. So maybe about that much clay. And I'm going to split it in half, roll it into some little balls, and then again I'm going to make them into a cone shape. Just a short, squat cone shape, just like that. See that? And then just on one side, I'm going to throw it down and splat it. Splat and splat, just on the one side. Then those are going to be my fins. So I just take that little bit of clay and I put the narrow tip right into the slip, and then I can take a pencil or my dowel and I just squish it in and pull it down. And that right there, that just means it's going to attach really well to the rest of the fishy. I'm going to do the same on this side. I just pop it on there like that, and then I squish down like that. And if I want to, I can pull his little fins out if I want it to seem like he's swimming. Now the only thing we have left to do is the tail. Okay? It's looking pretty good here, I think. So first thing we want to do on one side, where his bottom fin is going to go, let's score that. And on the other side, I like to go with the top where his other fin is going to go, and we'll score that. We'll add a little bit of slip, and we'll let that sit there. And we're going to do the exact same thing, only it's the tail, so I think we want his fins to be a little bigger on the tail. So we'll just take our clay, and it's completely up to you how much clay you want to use. And I usually divide it into thirds. So if we want it in thirds, we go 3 equal parts. And I'll take one of those parts off. That'll be his bottom fin, and this will be his top fin. And you know what to do now, right? You roll it into a cone, and you roll it into a cone, and then you splat it. And I like to splat it on both sides. So there's our bottom fin, and splat the top fin, just like that. You can splat it a little more. I might like it to be a little longer, so I might splat it one more time. So on the place where we have it on the bottom, we're going to take the bottom tail fin, and we're just going to squish it on there. Then we're going to turn them over, and we're going to take the top fin, and we're going to pinch them together so that we're squishing all that together pretty good. And I like to just, right here in the back, just squish them together. Now you only have one more thing to do with your fish. You can turn his tail. You can, at this point, kind of move him around however you want. But one thing I want you to do is I want you to turn him upside down, and I want you somewhere on his belly to put a little hole. And that hole is going to be important because air has to escape so that your fishy doesn't explode or crack. So we're making a hole so that air can escape. And that's also a nice hole if you wanted, when you were all done, if you wanted to put him on a stick, and you could put him in the garden and he would sway back and forth in the breeze. So if you want to, you can put a couple of small holes up at the top so that you can put a string on there. But this is your basic fishy, and that's how you make him. I hope you like that. Here he is. And then, like I said, when he's all done and he's all nice and dry, you can paint him however you want. Or if you're going to fire him, you can fire him and glaze him. This fishy is done in raku firing. So I hope you have fun with that. And I'll try to think of another project for you later. I think that's all. Bye-bye.